Hi guys, today we are going to be playing with a super fun collection, and this is the new collection from Lethal Cosmetics. Now, if you've missed my last video, I was gone for about 2 weeks, and when I got back I had a lot of packages, and I've already filmed a haul that should have been up already. I can link that up in the corner, but I was showing you some of the things that came in while I was gone, and this was one of the things. So they have come out with a new palette as well as a collection of glosses. They reached out to me and asked what I wanted to receive in PR, and I said I definitely wanted the palette, and I wanted to only try one gloss because I am not the biggest gloss person, and I felt like for me to get 6 different glosses, which is what is in the collection, seemed a little bit wasteful since I wasn't going to use all of them, and I felt like swatching them wouldn't really be, I don't know, that useful maybe, because there are swatches of glosses on their website as well. So I did end up getting one of them, and this is in the shade Lightscape. Now I am wearing it today. I already put it on together with a lip liner from ColourPop. I'm using the shade here that is called Little One, and I really like the gloss formula from Lethal. These are beautiful glosses. These are all available still, as well as the palette on their website. I think the palette is sold out on Photo Ready or the other site that they're sold on, but you can buy it on Lethal's website. They are a Berlin-based brand, so maybe shipping would be a little bit expensive if you're in the States like myself and you want to pick this up, but everything is available on their website, and you can use my code Annette to save 10%. It's not affiliated, but it will help you save some money. So we're gonna play with this palette today, and I have plans. I'm excited. I've already filmed one look with this, so this is going to be a 2-look video. I'm going to show you the last look that I've done, or the first look that I filmed at the end of the video, but we're first gonna do a look together, and I'll kind of share my thoughts and stuff like that, and then I'll show you the other look and give you my review at the end of the video. But I think that this palette is super cute. I really like the idea behind this collection. I think that it's different than what, you know, Lethal has done in the past, and I feel like brands are starting to realize that if you want to stand out in today's market, you need to do something that hasn't been done already, and I feel like this is definitely something that hasn't been done already, and I really like the idea behind this. I think that the color story is really fun. I think that the layout, despite it being a little bit like messy, it's also kind of fun. It depends on you. Like, if you're someone who likes everything to be really tidy and organized, maybe this layout isn't for you, but I think that this is something that, I don't know, makes me want to play with this. And that's definitely what we're going to do today. So I think for this look, I'm going to play with mostly some of like the greens here, maybe this shimmer. The shimmers in this palette are beautiful. I will say when I swatch them, they swatch a little bit sheerly, but if you use some kind of a sticky base with them, use a glitter primer, spray your brush, they'll definitely become more opaque and more intense than they would if you say used your finger or just put them on dry. But we're gonna have some fun with this, and I'm excited. So I'm gonna start priming with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, and I also think that I want to probably do lashes today and do some kind of like liner details. I'm just in a mood to really play with this and do something really fun. And I also just, I don't know, I'm in a good mood. I just want to have fun with makeup. I just want to enjoy myself, take my time, not feel rushed. And that's one of the things that's really nice about being back from vacation, is that when you're gone from home, usually it's because you are going somewhere where you have plans. I don't know if I've talked too much about this, but I went to Albany and then I went to Chicago, and the main reason for those trips was because I was playing in some Scrabble tournaments, which a lot of you are probably like, what the fuck? Like, that's a thing. And yes, that's a thing. It's actually a pretty big community. There's a lot of people who play Scrabble, but basically every single day we would start at like 9 in the morning. So it was just get up, get ready, and go. And I felt like I didn't really have, you know, too much time to just have fun with makeup and experiment with makeup. Not to say that I didn't, and I will have a video up where I show all of the looks that I did while I was on vacation and what I used, and I definitely feel like I got some really cool looks, and I got a lot of compliments, and people were excited to see my makeup for the day when I came down, which made me, you know, more inclined to get up a little bit earlier and do my makeup, so that was fun. I think we're gonna start with the shade here, which is the dark green called Power Up. And I'm gonna take that on a very small kind of flat liner brush here, because I do want to do sort of a wing type shape, and you will see in that video that I did a lot of this while I was gone. I'm just gonna kind of stamp this, kind of going up where my lower lash line is, just to get that angle right, and then I'll pull it out a little bit. And this is a really pretty color. I've been really enjoying doing sort of wings like this with eyeshadow, because you don't have to be as precise as you do if you're using some kind of a liquid liner or something like that. I'm I'm just gonna connect this to my lid as well, just using that same brush. This doesn't have to be super precise because I'm gonna go ahead and do a lot of other things over the top of this as well. I'm just gonna do the same on this eye. And when I have the line where it is that I want it to be, I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker and just sort of connect it to the hood of my eye. If you don't have hooded eyes, you don't have to worry about keeping your eyes open, but if you do have hooded eyes, definitely like look straight forward so you can see where the line kind of hits. And then I'm just gonna fill in the outer portion here. And if your eyes are not the exact same shape, which mine are definitely not, like don't worry about it being perfect. It's not that serious. Just make sure that it's looking okay for you, and if it looks okay for you, it's gonna look okay for everybody else too. Like no one is gonna notice, I promise. So I'm gonna leave this the way it is right now, and I am gonna go in and perfect this after, but I just wanna go in with some of the other mattes here. So I'm gonna start, I think, with this shade. This is the lighter of the like pure green shades, and then we're gonna use a bit of the more chartreuse shade as well. This one is called 8-bit, and I'm gonna put that in the middle of my crease. I am gonna just tap on my primer a little bit, make sure that this is okay here. And I don't want this to be super high up. I'm gonna keep it mostly like just above the hood of my eye, so that when I blend this out, you can see it, but you can mostly see the blend and not like all of the color. And I'm gonna blend it into the darker green as well, leaving some room in the inner portion here because, like I said, I am gonna use the chartreuse shade, and this is really, really pretty. I do find that with Lethal's mattes, this is just a personal preference thing, I don't like to over blend them because I find that they lose their intensity pretty quickly. They're not the most buildable mattes, so I prefer to not use too many of them kind of built on top of each other or blended into each other because I want them to stay nice and vibrant. And I feel like this is doing exactly what I want them to do here. Like that looks really nice. With the same brush, I'm gonna take the chartreuse shade, which is called Insert Coin. And I'm gonna put that in the front portion here and blend it into the green. I don't want too much of this. I just want this to be like a bright pop of color, and I really like that. That's a beautiful shade. I'm having a great time with this look so far. I'm gonna use a little bit of this and just start blending over the edge of that green ever so slightly. I don't want this to be like a super perfect blend. It doesn't have to be, but I'm just gonna pull in a bit more of this shade as my blending shade, and I think that's gonna be probably good enough. Yeah, this looks super cute. So next, I'm gonna take a bit more of the dark green shade that I used, and I'm just gonna make sure that the outer corner of my wing and my eye here is looking nice. I'm gonna pull this into my lid a bit more and just make sure that where I put down this green that I have a nice thick layer and it's nice and opaque, because using that little brush, it's a little bit hard to do that. And I'm doing this in a bit of a diagonal shape here because I find that when I layer shimmers, sometimes with a more like sheer shimmer formula, having a bit of a gradient underneath will just help everything blend together nicely. And you can see I'm really trying to keep like that graphic shape and sharp shape on the outer corner. I'm not blending that upper edge of the wing here because I do want this to kind of look like a wing when I'm done. I don't know yet if I want to do anything on my lower lash line, so I'm going to put on the shimmers and then we'll see how it ends up looking. I'm first going to take some of my NYX glitter primer. I just have a little bit on the back of my hand here. I do find that with these shimmers, like I said in the beginning of the video, they definitely perform their best with a bit of a tacky base or just a little bit of something to amp them up. This is of course optional, but if you like your shimmers to really pop, I would definitely recommend using a glitter primer. The one that I use is from NYX. I love it. I think it's amazing. I just bought a new tube, so now I've gone through I think 3 of these. Like, you don't need a thick layer at all, just a little bit will do. And I think the shimmer or shimmers that I want to use, I'm so tempted to only use this one because it's so pretty and I just think it's gonna look so fun. Ah, man, so maybe that's what I'll do. I think in my first look I used this shimmer. Maybe I'm gonna start with Actually, I'm gonna take a little bit of this one. I would use this. This is a multi-chrome. I don't, that's very pretty though. Actually, let's use these two. Can't help myself. So I'm gonna take the sticky side of my brush into the multi-chrome shade here, which is called High Score. And I'm just gonna put, I'm not gonna use a ton of this. I'm just gonna have it on the outer portion of my lid here and sort of use that to blend into the wing that I have on the outer portion, or just like blended it to mattes or whatever you want to call it. So you're not really going to be able to see the multi-chrome shift in this, but I just want to have a bit of this just so I can try it. And this is a really, really pretty shade. I think all of the shimmers in this palette are so beautiful. And I'm next gonna take the shade here called Bonus, which is the one that I'm the most excited about. I love these kind of shades. I think this is gonna look so good together with all of these colors. I'm just gonna put that on the rest of my lid. This is definitely more of a sheer shade, but that's exactly what I want. And it's just gonna look really wet looking and pretty. Yeah, this is doing exactly what I want. That is beautiful. Just gonna work on the blend between these colors, and then we'll see if I want to do anything under my eye. I really feel like I don't, but we'll see. And then dipping back into the dark green matte. Again, just doing the same thing, working on the blend, making sure everything's looking nice and smooth. So here's what I'm thinking. This, you're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but I think just keeping in the spirit of the color story of the palette, since there are like some purples and pinks in here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this split liner from Glisten Cosmetics. This is one of their cake liners, so water activated liners. I have mine in the shade Peppa. I'm gonna take the darkest of the shade in this, and I'm gonna use that to basically underline underneath my brow. Like, hear me out, I know that's crazy, but I think it's gonna work out. I tried this before I went to bed the other day just to kind of see if I was able to get a smooth line, since I don't have like, you know, waxed under eyebrows. Is that a thing? I wasn't sure if it would like cling to my my hairs and stuff, but I think it turned out pretty cool. So I'm gonna take a small liner brush here. This one is from P. Louise. I really like their liner brushes, and I'm basically just gonna dip this brush into water, swirl it into this shade, and just draw a line just underneath my brow and sort of carve out my brow with that color. And it's gonna turn out really cool, just trust me. So of course my camera shut off in the middle of doing that, but as you can see, super easy, and I feel like it just adds like a little extra pop of something, and I'm tempted to keep going. I don't know what it is that I want to do, but I kind of want to do like a line underneath here. Is that going to be like too much? Am I taking this too far? I feel like sometimes I do that when I start with these liners. It's like you can just keep going and going and going and keep adding because it's so fun. But maybe I should just keep it like kind of subtle. Like, is that what I want to do? Do I just want to keep it kind of subtle? I'm just going to do one more line. One more. That's it. I'm just going to follow basically the under the green here and just do one line right here. That's gonna be it. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna do one more because I just want to tie it in right here. Yeah, I think that looks really cool. I like that. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna stop. That's all. Stop it, Annette. Put your brush down. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off. I'll do some liner, mascara, probably do some lashes too. I really like this look. I think this turned out so fun. Okay, I'm gonna finish off. I'll be right back. All right, and this is the look done, and I gotta say, I am pretty obsessed. I love this. I think this turned out so cool. Not sure about the lash application, but then again, am I ever? I'm using the lashes in the style Erin. These are from Glisten Cosmetics. I bought these when I bought the split liner palette that I showed in my haul. I don't know if you've seen that already, but I said in that video that I thought that these lashes would look really good with my eye shape, and I feel like even though the application isn't perfect, I should have put them a little bit further in, and maybe I didn't trim them enough, but I think that they just look really cool. I love the length of them. They were a little bit, I mean, the band is very thick, so it's a little bit tough to just, I need to break them in a little bit first, I feel like, in order to actually be able to get a perfect application, but I think they look really nice, and I love the fluffiness of them, so you can still kind of see, you know, my look through them, and they're not too long. And I just think they look really, really good, and I love this look. For my highlighter and my face products today, I also use some products from Lethal because I don't know, I thought why not use them? Because I have a ton of them in my palette here, and the highlighter that I'm using is in the shade, hang on, let me see, what is this one called? Atomic. And in the pan it looks yellow, but on the face it actually looks like kind of pink, and I think it's beautiful. I'm also using 2 of the blushes here. I'm using the coral one as well as the pink one, and I just mix them together. And I really like the face palettes, or the face products from Lethal. I keep forgetting to use them though, just because they're in a palette, and I don't usually tend to reach for like face palettes, but I'm trying to just get better at using the stuff that I do have, especially if it's a brand that I'm already like reviewing. I might as well use more from that brand in the video just so I get more use out of the products. But I really like this. Now let's talk about the palette while I show you the first look that I did. So in the first look, I thought, you know what, let me do something I haven't done in a while. Let me do a halo eye. So I decided that I wanted to do something sort of purple and blue and try out that side of the palette as well. That is why I'm mostly focused on the greens and the blues for today's look, because I felt like those were the ones that I hadn't really used in the, well, the first look that I did, but the second look that you're seeing right now. So I did a halo eye with the purple in my crease, and I used the shade called Hip Point in the outer and the inner corner of my eye. And I really like the way that the dark blue performed. I thought the dark blue was a beautiful shade, and it was so easy to work with. It layered so nicely. Again, I'm gonna say the same thing that I usually say with Lethal's mattes, is that I don't find that their mattes go on the eye as dark as they do in the pan. I do feel like their intensity gets lost a little bit once you start blending and you put them on your eye, but that doesn't mean they don't perform well. It's just something to keep in mind. If you really want the Lethal shadows to look the same way on the eye as they do in the pan, I would go in with the darkest shade first. As you can tell, I didn't do that in that look, but it still turned out really nice. And I also really like the shimmer that I used. I thought it turned out beautiful. The shimmer maybe was a little bit less kind of sparkly than I would have hoped. I would have wanted just a little bit more oomph in it, but it was still a beautiful shade. It wore beautifully. I didn't have any problems at all with creasing, and it looked amazing from the time I put it on until I went to bed. So I don't really have anything to complain about. I think this color story is really fun. I enjoyed both of the looks that I did. I think I like this look a little bit more, the one that I'm wearing right now, just because it's different than anything that I've ever done, and I really feel like the liner details added so much to this look. And I think that if you're in a little bit of a makeup rut, or you feel like your looks are getting repetitive, or you just don't know what to do with your eyeshadows anymore, maybe start playing around with liners, because it can be so fun and it's so easy to do. I swear, like, these cake liners are so easy to work with. They're so opaque, they don't crack, they wear really well. Despite being like water activated, I don't find that they fade at all. Once they dry down and set, they are such a good formula, and they're by far the best that I've ever tried. I haven't tried that many, but I really enjoy these. If you've been looking for cake liners, look into the Glisten ones because they are incredible. As for the gloss, I really like the gloss too. I think this formula is really nice. It's not sticky at all. If you like a gloss that's maybe a little bit more opaque, I don't think that these glosses would be for you, and I feel like they're a little bit deceptive in the way that they look in the tube. I don't find that they look as intensely kind of sparkly and shimmery and duochromy on the lips as they do in the tube, but that's because they are a very sheer gloss, and that's totally okay. I don't mind that at all. I think paired with a lip liner, they look amazing. They feel really nice. I don't know if I would say that these are plumping glosses. It does say on their website that they do give a plumping effect, and I could feel a little sensation right after putting them on. I don't know if there's like a little bit of mint or something in it. It's not anything that would bother you if you don't like plumping glosses, because I don't like plumping glosses, but I felt a little bit of something, and I don't know exactly what that is, but I think it looks beautiful on the lips, and I'm really happy that I have this. I'll definitely keep using it. And I think that's going to be my thoughts. Let me know if you picked up this collection. Let me know if this is a collection that you are interested in. Let me know which look was your favorite. I'd love to know, like, would you wear something like this? Do you feel like this is too crazy? Like, for me, I'm like, I'd wear this on an everyday basis. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll go anywhere now. Like, want to go out for dinner tonight? Sure. But that's just me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some more Lethal content, I of course have a playlist. I will put that right there. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.